Hello everyone, my name is Anthony Harmon and I'm your local professional real estate agent in Kansas City. This is going to be the third installment of our Beginner's Guide Home Electrical series. Today we are going to be building off the first two videos, which were our home breaker guide and then also our electrical wiring guide. And now we are going to be going to the first beginner install, which will be the light and light switch process. First, we're going to discuss the light, the invention that allowed us to work through the night and see in the dark. Today, there are many different variations of lights that you may see in a household, like LED, halogen, incandescent, fluorescent, and the list goes on. But the principles behind the power of the light themselves remain consistent. When picking out a light to install your home, you first need to know the power requirements necessary to power that light, like voltage and amperage, and what configuration of wire is required. The next would be how to power that light. Would it be from an existing circuit in the room that you're looking to work with, or would it be having to run a completely new wire from your breaker panel? What light switch is required for the light that you want? Once you've chosen the light that you want to install, it should tell you on the package the power requirements, aka voltage and amperage requirements needed to power the light itself. Most standard lights in a US household are going to be 120 volts AC and relatively low amperage. Next, you want to go to the area that you wish to install the light and see where the nearest power source is. This power source may be from another light in the room or an outlet. After you have found where you're going to pull the power from, you're going to want to find out what circuit breaker that power source is connected to. Now you can do this by using a volt detector and turning off the breakers one by one until there is no longer any current at your power source. So if it is a light, you want to turn all the lights on and make sure that all the power in the area is on. So that way whenever you go through and turn off each circuit breaker, you can see when the lights turn off. Then you know that that is the circuit breaker for that particular area. Or if you're using a volt detector, every time you turn off a circuit breaker, go ahead and test the outlet that you're looking to work with, and then once your volt detector is not going off, then you know that that is the correct circuit breaker that ties into that area. You are then going to need to make sure that the power source you are looking to work with has the correct wire configuration that your wire requires. You will most likely need a power wire, which will be the black wire. You will most likely need a neutral wire, which is the white wire, and most likely a ground wire, which is either going to be a bare copper wire or a green wire. Now, if you are unsure what I'm talking about with wire configurations and specifications, I would greatly recommend watching the prior video in our Beginner Home Electrical series that covers everything about wire configuration, how to spec it, how to know how to size it, and how to know what configuration you need. So I think you should pause this video if you don't know what I'm talking about, go back and watch that one, then come back and you'll have a great foundation to go forward with whenever looking at the rest of this video. Now, depending on which switch type for the light you may need, there might be additional wiring requirements, like per se if you want a 3-wire configuration or if you want a dimming configuration. Now for today, we're going to be covering a standard single switch, single light configuration that doesn't have the option for 3-way or dimming, just to keep it simple and beginner. There are 2 different ways to wire a new switch and light configuration that can happen. You can either take a power source to the switch first and then to the light, or to the light first and then to the switch. Before doing anything with electricity, ensure that your breaker is turned off by checking the wires you wish to connect via a volt detector or a voltmeter to avoid injury. As you can see in this diagram, we are first going to be looking at the configuration for taking the power wire to the light first before the switch rather than from the switch to the light. So as you can see in this diagram, we have the power source coming from here with a black power wire, a white neutral wire, and then a ground wire. First, what you're going to want to do is take the neutral wire directly to the light, and then the power wire you're going to hook on to a traveler wire that will go from the light source. Now it does not go directly to the light, as you can see a wire nut is being applied here, or you can use a Wago connector, or you can even install terminal block. Whatever you decide to do, most likely will be a wire nut in your household, but whatever you desire to do. And then a lot of people use a white wire and then mark it with a black piece of electrical tape, so you know that that is not indeed a neutral, it's a power wire indicated by the tape on that wire. Or you can just use a black wire as well, and then a red wire for the traveler back, whichever you prefer. So as you can see, This power wire gets tied directly onto a traveler, which goes down into this pipe and then out to the switch on the bottom of the switch. So what this does is this creates the line going to the switch, so the power. And then you have the ground coming directly through this pipe as well to the switch itself. Then you see this black wire. This is going to be the load exiting the switch. So you can see it's in the off position where the power is at rest. And then once it goes into the on position, it latches in, and then the power is able to transfer through this screw up back through this power wire, through this tube, and then to the light, energizing the light and making it work. So this is the configuration to go to the power source, to the light first, and then to the switch. Here is a diagram that you would see of wiring directly to the switch first rather than to the light. As you can see, the power source comes in from the bottom into the switch, and this is the line that comes directly from the power source onto the line terminal screw. And now the switch is in the off position, indicating that once you switch it up, it'll latch in and then go to the traveler, aka the load wire, which would be tied onto this top terminal, which will travel all the way up and then go to the power of your light. Now your switch does not need the neutral. The only thing required to touch a neutral is going to be the light itself. So you're going to want to wire nut in from that power source, bypassing the switch and going directly up into the light itself. Now for ground wiring, you're going to want to put a wire nut in so you can run a ground wire to the switch itself, to the box that is encasing it if it is a metal box that your switch is being mounted to. If it's plastic, that might be a different story. But regardless, you're going to want to put a wire nut in so you can go directly to the switch at minimum and then up into the light's ground screw. So just quick overcap, you have the power source coming straight up into the switch as the line, load going straight out to the light, and then neutral bypassing the switch going straight to the light, then ground being tied in to both. So that is the difference whenever you're looking at a power source directly to light first or power source directly to switch first. So once you have all this figured out, you have your wire purchased, light purchased, and switch purchased, you are ready to cut a hole and install a new light into your home. Disclaimer, as always when I make electrical videos, I recommend that if you are not confident in your electrical skills and don't feel like you can perform this project in a safe manner, please hire a licensed electrician so you can stay safe and healthy. Electricity can be dangerous and even fatal. So regardless, this video will help with you understanding and purchasing of such a project if you don't feel safe of implementing it. And then if you are confident, then this video should give you a step-by-step guide of how to do this project successfully. Once your switch is installed and you have your light wired properly, you're going to want to flip the breaker back on, turn on the switch, and see if it lights up. If it does, then congratulations, you have successfully installed a light in your new home all on your own. You're one step closer to being a pro DIY homeowner. If you like this video and like to see more like it, comment below with more electrical themed videos or any type of content you would like to see. I hope you found this video helpful, and as always, be safe, be smart. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.